Hey, it's Monday. Doug, it's Monday. You know that means it's Raw. It's the Raw review. Very heavily King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring focused this Raw. A lot of interesting things. Big shocker though, at the end, I was a little surprised by the outcome of the Uso Dragunov match, but we'll get to that shortly. Doug, how are you quickly?
I'm good, man. Yeah, just like I mentioned on the weekend show, I'm working this 8-day stretch, so today was day 4.
Well, you still have a couple of days left.
Yeah, Friday
Uh,
can't come fast enough.
Absolutely. If you're liking the content, everybody, make sure you like, share us down below before we continue on this video. Really appreciate it. It's always a lot of fun. And it's a small click for you guys, but a big click for us. So we thank you very much ahead of time. So let's get to the Raw review here.
Priest cooked McIntyre.
Oh, he
Fight
cooked
me.
McIntyre. Yeah,
Fight me.
it opened up with McIntyre walking in the ring in a fury of anger, going off on CM Punk, and then calling Priest, was it a paper champion or a
A
cheap
paper champion, yeah.
paper champion? And then Priest came out, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm really liking Damian Priest as the champion for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. He
I'm
leveled
liking
up.
it. I'm liking it. I was very on the fence of it because I don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm really liking the Damian Priest champion thing. And I kind of like how he's becoming, how Judgment Day is sort of becoming like more and more like almost like Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it into those kind of like ways, but he cooked McIntyre. Basically said like, you told me I wanted to see. They said I wanted to cash in on Seth, but every time I wanted to cash in on Seth, you interrupted, just crapping on him.
Oh yeah. So basically he was the first one to really tell Drew, like, you lost because of you.
Yeah,
And and then Priest used this line that I chuckled at. He said, "You keep looking for everybody to blame for your problems, but you got to look in the mirror and blame that asshole." I I
uh,
I chuckled at that.
and we're basically Priest basically just gave him a title shot.
When he's clear,
When he's
which
clear,
mean
which
which
is
means
Clash of the Castle.
which means Clash at the Castle.
So, but
Um,
I like it where this Priest, where David Priest is going with this. I makes me wonder with Clash of the Castle
mhm,
if Drew is going to win that title there because he might not.
that's true.
Right? I think they might continue the whole Punk thing going through, and Punk's going to cost him again.
Go ahead.
Makes you
Are you?
wonder. Makes you wonder if Punk's going to be the one that wins that title, and then Drew beats him. Makes you wonder a little bit.
No, because I'm going to tell you. There's 3 ways you can go about it. I
Sure.
mentioned one on Friday's show
Yeah.
about how Punk cost McIntyre.
Yep.
Okay. The second one is you have you do have what you just mentioned. You have Priest beat McIntyre, and then Punk's the one to beat Priest,
Yeah.
and then McIntyre finally gets it back. Now McIntyre's in a weird story, right? Because
Yeah.
he's a heel, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the baby face always comes out on top. So,
Yeah.
so the third way you play it is Drew beats Priest, but Punk will take the title at SummerSlam.
From Priest.
No, from Drew.
Oh, from Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I foresee Punk win the title at some point. I don't see him not having the title.
I think they'll give him a run basically for the leading into WrestleMania so he can be one of the main
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
events,
Uh,
provided he doesn't get hurt again between now and WrestleMania.
Hopefully he doesn't.
Go ahead.
Uh,
No,
that was a great opening segment. After that, we got to the Queen of the Ring tournament, round two, the quarterfinals. Bit of a callback to over the weekend what happened where Shayna Baszler wrestled what the hell is her name from Alpha Academy? Maxine
Maxine Dupree.
Dupree for an injured Selena Vega. And Baszler versus Io Sky was, well, Io won.
Yeah. Uh, and I think it all made sense when you look back to what happened last week, right?
Yeah.
Where Lyra came to the aid of Becky Lynch getting attacked by Damage Control.
Yeah.
Right. Because, I mean, I'll just talk about it here because they kind of flip flop between them. Lyra ended up winning her match.
Yes, she did.
So
Zoe Stark.
now the now the semifinal is Io and
Lyra Valkyria.
yeah,
Valkyria.
and I think Valkyria is gonna win because she's gonna go on this like Cinderella run, and then she'll end up losing to Jade in the final.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. As far as a wrestler goes, I like Lyra Valkyria. I like the character of what it is for the most part. But I don't like the whole "I'm happy to be here" kind of shit that she's kind of showing off. You know what I mean? The
It's
whole
only week 2. Give
I
her a
know. I
break.
just don't like. I just don't hasn't grabbed me.
Okay, yeah, of course. It's not gonna grab you right
And
away.
to be honest, I didn't really like Becky. I didn't really like Becky Lynch till she turned into the whole man thing anyway. So
Not
good
a lot of
time.
people did.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so
After that, we got
we'll talk about the men's, right?
yeah. Well, yes. We want to talk about the Judgment Day segment first, before with Carlito.
Right. So there was a couple overarching stories in the episode.
Yes.
Judgment Day's in the back. Carlito's talking to Dom. Priest comes in and says to Carlito, basically, if you want to run with my boys, cool, but as far as I'm concerned, you're not welcome here.
Yep.
But that came into play later in the night.
Yeah, where Carlito said sometimes you gotta change your opinion on people.
Even the most stubborn people, yeah,
Yeah,
even the
they're
most
those
stubborn
stubborn
people can
people.
have their minds changed, yeah.
Yeah.
And he just wants everyone to be amigos. So
I like how he shaved off the mustache, went back to the old Carlito look.
yeah, just the soul
Yeah.
patch.
Yeah, whatever the hell you want to call it.
I mean, off camera, we were talking about 90s music, but
Yeah.
talk about 90s fucking pop culture. But soul
Yeah.
patch.
Well, my boss tones had one of those. A couple of the guys did.
But yeah, so the first King of the Ring matchup was
Gunther.
Gunther and Kofi Kingston. Kofi
I
beat Kofi beat Ray at a
yeah.
live event on Saturday night.
I don't think anybody did not see Gunther winning this match.
Oh yeah, Gunther won.
Yeah.
And we were right on Friday because we'll talk about the main event later, but there's no way they were going to give Dragunov and Gunther away on free TV.
No. But a little surprised by it though. Still. After that we got well, there was a Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, and a Liv Morgan segment where they have an interview with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch leaves, and then with Lyra Valkyria, sorry. And she's always, I'm gonna have Becky's back because we're Irish twins and all that stuff. Becky says, "Thank you very much," and leaves, which brings to Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan just basically just simply asks, Becky Lynch has always been a bitch. To which, well, Becky Lynch stuck up behind Liv Morgan, get a little shot to the mouth.
Yep.
I called her a bitch back. So
Yep. Yep.
it was a nice little segment. It was fun. It was good times. Good fun.
Yeah, so we
Moved to Tozawa versus Bronson Reed.
okay, so this was another overarching theme of the night.
Yes, because just after that Judgment Night segment, we did the Alpha Academy segment where Chad just ripped apart people.
Yeah. and he was going to put Otis against Bronson Reed, but then he was like, no, you're going to face Sami Zayn, and Tozawa faces Bronson Reed. And then he calls Maxine Dupree pathetic. And then
And
Ivy Nile tries to step in, and he said, oh, you have a lot of potential. Uh, you know,
wave Taylor Swift off.
he, he said, stop wasting your time on Maxine or whatever.
Yeah,
Or I think he called her Taylor Not So Swift.
that's it. Taylor Not Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It
So,
was funny.
yeah, which led to Bronson Reed versus Tozawa. Of course, Tozawa was going to lose this match.
Well, Tozawa got some offense in first. He was looking pretty good, and then well, that ended.
Yeah. And after the match, Gable is just kind of bullying around Tozawa.
Yeah, I'm wondering where this is all going.
I know exactly where this is going. I'm going to tell you
Are
how
you,
it's
are
going
you,
after I talk about the next match, which was Otis and Sami Zayn. And Otis was rocking, hits the caterpillar. But when he went for the Vader bomb, yes, it's the Vader bomb.
I'm not
Uh,
arguing here.
he basically, Sammy gets the knees up. Otis rolls to the corner, gets hit with a haluva kick, loses the match. Then Gable started slapping around Otis, to which
Yeah,
Sammy came to Otis's defense, gave him an exploder in the corner. Gable retreated, but then he slapped Otis across the face.
yeah.
Now, this is all going to lead to him bringing Alpha Academy out for a match, and they're all going to leave him.
Oh, I can see that for sure.
Yeah. Instead of Gable leaving them, they're going to leave him.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which is where I thought it was going when he turned heel a few weeks ago.
It's kind of hoping they're all going to turn heel with him and become like just a force, but I was wrong.
But I enjoyed this stuff out of Chad Gable.
I'm enjoying the heel turn a lot with Chad Gable. I like the back to go. I'm not convinced he's going to win that title though in Saudi Arabia, the triple
No,
threat. I'm not convinced. I think Sammy's going to win that title and hold it. I think they're going to save Gable beating Sammy for possibly Clash of the Castle or SummerSlam.
yeah, you would think it's got to be
Yeah,
Gable at some point, right?
it has to be. I mean, maybe Bronson Reed. I think Bronson Reed will get that title somewhere down the line, but not yet. But it's going to be a hell of a good match.
Or we could both be wrong and Bronson Reed ends up being champion after next Saturday.
I'm actually okay with that too.
Me too. Um,
We also had a segment though too with Gunther and Ludwig. Sorry, uh, well Kaiser, right? Basically challenging Sheamus to a match.
yeah,
So we'll look forward to that probably next
that's
week.
probably going to happen next week.
Yeah. Pierce had a segment
I
too
did
with Braun
hold on.
Breaker.
We did skip something
What did we skip?
with Gunther and Kofi.
Yes,
Samantha Irvin, I guess Lillian Garcia was at the event,
I saw this. Yes,
and she asked Lillian Garcia to help her with the announcements of the match.
yes,
And we got her to do a Kofi Kingston while Samantha did what she does best, which is pronounced Gunther
nice.
or Gunther.
Gunther. Uh, Also, too, a segment with Adam Pierce they're asking about why Braun Breaker was the thing. He just explained why he didn't want to throw Braun Breaker into the middle of the ocean there, which prompted Braun Breaker to come out. Looks like Braun is going to basically said, they're not swimming the ocean with me. They're swimming with me, and I was going to drown them all. So it's almost like they're going to kind of do Braun Breaker the heel
Yep.
over the whole face thing, which I think is a better course of action at this point right now, especially with Braun Breaker. I like his heel work in NXT way far more than I liked him at far more than his face work in NXT.
I think the thing is he needs to get over to a bigger sample size
Mm-hmm.
than just the Performance Center.
Yeah,
Um, so that being said, right,
I think he needs a good feud.
it'll come.
Yeah, a good
But
one.
these, think of these like the introductory vignettes of Braun Breaker,
Yeah.
because he's been a major player in NXT,
Hmm.
and
Oh yeah.
he's had good showings on SmackDown when he's been on,
Yeah.
but they've all been squash matches, right?
Of course.
So let me talk about the most unserious part of the night.
Sure.
We cut to the back.
Yeah.
This is just before this fatal four-way match to determine the number one contender.
Yeah.
And Braun Strowman is, coaching up the Creeds and telling them, good job, go kick some ass.
Yeah.
When J.D. McDonough,
Or as Pat McAfee's called him, JD McDonough.
yes, he gets in Braun Strowman's face
Oh Jesus, yeah. That's my bad when I was in the bathroom.
and told him that he was warned that he's now a target of the Judgment Day. And literally, Braun just laughs this off. And so that takes us to the fatal four-way tag match. AOP, New Catch Republic,
Yeah.
Balor and JD of the Judgment Day,
Yeah.
and the Creeds.
Creeds.
Good
Good
match.
match.
But yeah, we were talking about that Carlito guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he decided to come out of the crowd and get done a backstabber on the announce table.
Yes.
And then, which led to JD throwing Dunn in, and Balor hit the coup de grace.
Yeah.
To yeah, now Balor and JD are going to challenge Truth and Miz.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with some of these tag teams though. I mean, the Creeds, are gonna be a little bit of time. Same with the AOP
They're still
and,
young.
and New Catch Republic. Like, I mean, I don't think the Judgment Day are gonna regain the titles. I still don't see it happening.
So, two more things to talk about on this episode.
Well, we have the Becky Lynch and Dakota Kai match.
Okay,
which,
so
which,
there's a few more.
which turned into a giant, well,
Turned into a brawl, which Lyra and Becky cleared the ring, and then Liv came and threw Becky into the ring post.
Yeah.
And ran away like a bitch.
There's talk right now that they're going to put that title on Liv Morgan.
All the power to them, but after her first failed title run, I'm not optimistic.
I think it'll be a better title run here, but at the same time too, the word is that Becky Lynch still has not resigned.
Yeah.
Now Seth resigned, which is for a very lucrative deal from what I understand. And so you gotta think Becky's probably around the corner, but I think also Becky might want to take some time off. I have a feeling Becky wants to take a little bit of time off, but not have to sign or worry about anything for a bit.
Yeah, go on vacation like Seth did after WrestleMania.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't think I don't think she's ever gonna go anywhere else. I don't ever see her going to AEW or anywhere else. Just be WWE. So
Yeah.
I think that contract's probably gonna be sitting there waiting for her, even if she takes like a couple months off.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
for sure.
So I don't see
It's all
any
good.
worry in that.
Right. And so 3 more things I want to talk about.
Sure.
One, after the Kofi Gunther match.
Yeah.
Kofi's walking in the back where he is carrying Cross runs into him.
Oh yeah.
And he says, tough loss, Kofi. Good thing is there's still lots of time to turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your next Final Testament program. It's going to be with the New Day.
Lovely. You know what, like, look, unless you're gonna have the Final Testament actually win the feud, who cares?
Yeah.
I like the Final Testament, I really do. There's no point in giving them feuds to do if they're not going to win a feud here and there. It's the same thing they did with Bray Wyatt after a while. He would never win feuds. It'd be great storytelling, all that stuff, but we never win the feud.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was teased. Then after Judgment Day won the number one contendership, they're celebrating in the back. And in comes Priest In comes Priest again. And he says to Carlito, he says, if you're going to run with us, we don't run with cowards.
I would handle your business.
Are you going to handle your business with Ray? He said, yeah, I got this. And then he called him amigo.
Amigo. Yeah.
So I guess Carlito for now is with the Judgment Day.
For now.
For now.
For now.
Until they feed him to Braun Strowman.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember what
Yeah.
JD said last week.
Yeah. Well.
Which brings us to our main event. The Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov, and the Yeetmeister.
Yeah, that place goes nuts for that Jey Uso, for that Jey Uso. Jesus, that goes nuts for it.
The Yeetmeister.
Yeah, it goes off.
And this was a good match.
It was a very good match.
I enjoyed it.
I was a little I was a little surprised though that Jey Uso did beat Dragunov. I said I kind of did think they were going to do Dragunov versus Gunther, but I guess they're going to save that for another period of time, maybe for something else involved, like a title. But it was a good match, and I swear to God, I don't know about you, but every time Dragunov does that whole H bomb, that right?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I think back to when Dan Henderson did that shit to Michael Bisping. He was laid out cold.
I was thinking about that.
I see him do that, like I just think, oh, Dan Henderson laying out Michael Bisping again.
I've thought about that a few times.
Yeah, just knocks out Bisping, just goes. That's it. Like,
by the way, that shot was super unnecessary.
Of course, it was 100%. It was completely unnecessary, but it was funny at the same time.
Fair enough.
No.
Everyone hated Michael Bisping back then.
Bisping, well, I mean, he was a bit of a bastard.
Yeah, but you know what? By the time he won the belt, he was like,
he was a fan favorite.
Absolutely. Overall, what'd you think of Raw?
I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
I enjoyed it for what it was.
You know, I'm interested to see how this Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky match goes. I mean, I'm pretty sure Valkyria is going to win, but
it doesn't matter because I guarantee you.
Oh, they're being fed to Jade.
One of them's getting fed to Jade.
So in that case, then it comes down to Jade. You think they're going to get to Jade versus Bianca then?
Yeah. I do think it's going to be Jade and Bianca.
So why would they give that on free TV instead of not do Gunther versus Dragunov on
because they're the tag team champions right now. They used to do this. They did this with Eddie and Ray.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is actually logically what I would do is I would actually have Io Sky beat Lyra.
Yeah.
Because then this way it's like, oh, you lost to the former women's champion.
Yeah.
Okay, like that's like a tough task. Like she was just women's champion for like 8 months.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Like you had a good run. But then you do that callback to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
With Io's now gonna face the winner of Jade and Bianca.
Yeah.
And then Jade's just gonna kill Io but Io will get a good match out of Jade.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it'll be Jade on our own singles, really, against someone who's very experienced.
So who do you have next week? Gunther or Jey Uso?
I'm gonna stick with Gunther. I'm sticking with Gunther on this.
I'm only going to say Jey Uso by count out.
Jey Uso by count out.
Yes.
Interesting.
And the reason why I say Jey Uso by count out is because that's the only like believable way where you can still make Gunther look strong.
Mm-hmm.
because Jay can throw everything at him, and then, you know,
Jay
or
versus that's actually gonna be a really good match. Actually, Jay versus Gunther's gonna be a very good match.
and then because, as I talked about on the weekend, I think Orton and Tama Tonga are going to be the final on SmackDown,
Yeah, we both agree with that one.
and Tama winning makes sense. So then you set up Tama Tonga versus Jey Uso, where you can bring back Jimmy
Oh, that should be interesting.
and the whole whose side is he on type deal.
Oh, that should be fun. Well, that'd be interesting to see what happens. For sure.
And that would be the only way I would accept Tama Tonga losing the King of the Ring,
Yeah.
is if Jimmy gets involved.
Yeah.
And cost Tama the match. Other than that, you know, I still think Tama could be King of the Ring, and I said it on the weekend.
Yeah, there's good possibilities. It'll be like it's gonna come down to, I think, I don't see Orton winning the King of the Ring. I just don't see it.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it. So the three, it's either gonna be Gunther, Jey Uso, or Tama Tonga that's gonna win that. One or the other. And I think right now, I think around most money's probably on Gunther.
Like, I think just for story purposes.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. You can
Right.
flip this a little bit, because there's two different stories going into this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The main story that's been the main story for like 4 years now,
The bloodline stuff.
the bloodline stuff.
Yeah.
So if Jay somehow wins next week by whatever way, then that should telegraph that Tama's going to beat Orton. But there's a way where Orton beats Tama, where KO comes back.
Yeah, where I think, well, KO's probably gonna come. I think that's what they're gonna do. I mean, although, see, I can see, or I can see KO coming back and costing Tama Tonga.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, though, too, Randy Orton versus Gunther sounds like a really good match.
And so for all you AEW guys or anti AEW guys with where's the story? I'm gonna tell you what the story is. With Orton and Gunther, you have Gunther who's on a warpath,
Yeah.
who has set out to become King of the Ring, and
Yeah.
he's made it to the final.
Yeah.
Versus Randy Orton, who has done everything in WWE 10 times over,
Yeah.
except win King of the Ring.
Yeah.
He's won every match type you can think of.
He doesn't need King of the Ring, though.
No.
But Gunther beating Orton is huge.
Outside of Edge, I can't think of anyone who's done everything.
It's true.
Maybe Bret Hart.
Bret's done everything. Bret's a Grand Slam champion for the most, well, at the time, which was a Grand Slam championship.
He was a co-winner of the Royal Rumble.
Actually, no. Bret is a Grand Slam champion because he held the U.S. title in WCW.
I know. No,
So yeah, he
no.
is a Grand Slam champion.
Right. No, but I'm saying like Bret won a Royal Rumble, and that's my point with Randy. Right? He's won two Royal Rumbles, 14 world titles, like 3 intercontinental titles, couple United States titles.
Yeah.
He's won the tag titles a half dozen times.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. And Bret's won King of the Ring.
He's won Elimination Chambers, Hell in a Cells. He's won casket matches.
Yeah.
He's beaten The Undertaker. He's main evented WrestleMania. The dude's literally done everything.
Yeah.
Right? So, and the only thing he hasn't done is win King of the Ring.
Very true.
So, that would be the story going in there.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what happens next week on Raw and this week on SmackDown. See if we're right or not. Let's take us home because I think that's about it. It's. I hear those birds are chirping to go to bed. So
yeah, no worries. So Hey, viewer, listener, thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, like what you see, go ahead, follow, rate, like, subscribe, share the video. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your grandma. I don't know. That's how we used to do it. Go follow us on socials. DA Sports Pod on Instagram, our podcast on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on Twitter.
And thank you to the new subscriber too that is now on our subscriber membership. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. We're also at 97 videos on YouTube, friends.
Ooh, three more to the big 100.
Three more to the big 100.
I believe we are approaching like episode 70 or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Woo!
while we're here, we are currently sitting at 1,146 downloads since October. So
thank you very much, guys. That's been a long grind for us.
I didn't think that would be a thing.
We are also on YouTube. We are at 136 shares.
Nice.
3,500, if not more, views. We appreciate you guys. Everybody, this is a small channel. We're building this up very slowly and building up as best we can. We thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate you all, guys.
And with that, he is Apricel1982 on Instagram, Andrew at DA Sports on TikTok, on DLines1991 on Twitter, and we'll catch you down the road.
If you guys want a good movie to watch, go back and watch the Mummy series. Really good. A very young Rachel Weisz. Very
Andrew's
cute.
movie pick of the week.
Movie pick of the week. Go watch the Mummy. Also, enjoy yourselves. And be nice to each other. Not that hard nowadays, this day and age.
We'll talk on the weekend. Talk to you later.
Later out.